Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Swedish A32A sitting at 9.0 battle rating. One big ass plane this is, bloody hell. She is bigger than most of the things you will see take off around you. There is some things that rival it, like the Hunter, and the Javelin is quite big, and the Ju-7 is quite big, but this is a big ass target, man. Bloody hell. It's difficult to miss this thing. It almost has twice the span width of some of the other planes, the wing span. It's amazing. But anyway, let me not get started on that. But yeah, you'll get hit a lot in this plane, that's for sure. It's easy for opponents. What does this plane actually have to offer? Well, I can tell you one thing. It doesn't have any missiles at 9.0. Not even Bs. And it has guns. It has guns. And bombs and rockets. But that's about it. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without the afterburner is 1054. Then with the afterburner 1100. At 4500 meters, this is 823 without and 849 with. And finally at 6500 meters, she'll go up to 723 without the afterburner and 744 with. Now that is not particularly powerful, that afterburner in this plane. Not that much speed difference. The best at sea level with about a 46 kilometers an hour speed difference there. This plane is not particularly fast at 9.0. It is alright, but in down tiers, but at its own battle rating and in up tiers you are not a fast plane. You will have troubles, like me against this starfighter here. Gonna have trouble to keep up with people and to escape from people, which is a problem in jets because speed is, you know, the name of the game. Top speed in a dive is 1103 before she redlines and 1215 before she rips apart. Now that is one of the better parts of the plane. She has good durability, survivability, over 110 kilometers an hour difference between the redline and where she rips apart. That gives you a little bit of a window to get out of the dive, to do something about your speed, and you will not rip this plane very quickly. So that is one of the nicer parts of this plane. Control stiffing in the plane starts slightly, very slight at 900 and a little bit more at 1000, which is alright. We finally got a shot on the F104 and we got her down. Yeah, you will be happy when you shoot something in this plane, let me tell you that. Stall speed in the plane is 130. The handling in a dive is decent up to about 1000 kilometers an hour, but you do have a lot of trouble with the roll rate, which starts to compress after 1000. That gives you a 100 kilometers an hour window until the red line. So, and that's 200 away from the rip speed. So it does give you windows when it comes to sturdiness. This plane is all right when it comes to that. The firepower, the cannons, the 20mm cannons are decent, but I wouldn't call the firepower on this plane good because it doesn't have any missiles. So you have 4 20mm Akan M49 cannons with a whooping 90 rounds per gun. 90 rounds per gun is nothing to write home about, of course. It is rapid firing guns in the jets, very, very modern guns, and it's difficult to, you know, to be sufficient with 90 rounds for those guns. But anyway, is what we have to work with. So you gotta be trigger patient, very trigger patient. The plane can also be equipped with bombs and rockets. After all, it's in the attacker line, but those loads are not brilliant. And there's no combination between bombs or rockets, and you have no missile option in this plane. So when you choose to go for the fighter role in this plane, you will be only relying on those 420s with 90 rounds per gun. Ammo loads then I would say are bad for this plane. You are not running around for a long time with the ammo load in this plane. Unless you are superb in the aiming on jets and you really play it a lot, then maybe that can function a little better. Acceleration in the plane is distinctly average in a straight line. You can already notice this on the runways, and then after that on the takeoff acceleration is horrible. And then in the air it's very difficult to catch up to people, to pick up your speed. She just doesn't do it well, so that is average. In a dive it's a little bit better. She needs to wind up a little bit, but after that the acceleration becomes good at a certain point, when all the stuff she has comes into play. Yeah, it is not the best acceleration, and there is many jets that out accelerate this thing. It's only many attackers and some of the bomber designs that will have difficulty to accelerate with this thing, but others can match it or are better in the acceleration in this plane. So you keep that in mind, because you got to keep your speed up in this plane, and speed is the name of the game, as I said before, in jets, as we all know. You got to keep your speed up in this plane, because when you lose it, you know, you're done. The energy retention in the horizontal is decent, keeps your speed decently well, nothing excelling, nothing shiny, but alright. And in the vertical as well, so decent energy retention. The climb rate in the plane is also decent, nothing terrible. With a little bit of afterburner use, you'll get where you want to be, although it is outclimbed, of course, especially in up tiers, and MiGs are an example that difficult, and Harriers in up tiers, bloody hell. Well, anyway, there's plenty of planes that outperform this plane in the climb rate. Turn time in the plane is below average with flaps, and she does lose a lot of speed with those turns. Guns can be hit and miss, as you just saw in that pass. Flaps only rip off at 760, which is, well, that is quite normal with jets, those kind of speeds. So that is also not really special. The roll rate in the plane is no more than average. She's a big lady, and yeah, it is. It's all right, but yeah, it's not excelling in the roll rate at all. It's not excelling in the turn rate at all. It's not accelerating in the, or it's not accelerating. It's not excelling in the speed department at all, so you're gonna have problems in this plane. The overall maneuverability in it is average. Overheating is not an issue, which is nice for a change. That's alright, so that's good. And the durability is good. It can take quite a bit of damage, and she feels quite sturdy in the dive as well. And yeah, so that's nice, but she needs it. Because she does get hit a lot, and there are so many planes that can outturn her in several departments. If we're only speaking about acceleration and maximum speeds and roll rate and turn time and how she holds her energy in sustained turns and stuff like that, this plane has trouble finding an opponent that it can match in several departments. And most of the time you will face planes that can, you know, that can kick your ass in several of those departments, and it's difficult to win fights, very difficult to win fights. So yeah, here we have a little bit of an example of the heaviest bomb load here, with 600 kilogram, I believe, or it was 800. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was 600 kilogram bombs. 3 of them trying to get to a base, trying to fly all the way around the map to avoid the middle and to get something on target. You'll see how that ends. But a close air support, I guess this plane can do well in tank RB, because it does have the guns, it can perform as a support fighter, and it has the bombs which can take out a tank or 2. So that's alright. But in air RB, getting this plane to a target with the bombs and getting the bombs on target and surviving, good luck with that. And she's a support fighter. Let's be real. In tank RB she can function as a close air support, but she is in air RB a support fighter coming from the fringes, trying to help allies out with the guns. You do not have any missiles. You're distinctly limited. She doesn't have great bomb or rocket options, nor combos between those. And there's just so much lacking in this plane at 9.0 battle rating that I would say this plane is distinctly under-tiered. Or over-tiered, sorry. Oh well, guys, terrible. I don't like this plane, let that be clear. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. The A32A, well man, 9.0, 90 rounds per gun, not fantastically fast. Distinctly average acceleration compared to most other jets at its battle rating. It is lacking there. Turn time below average, nothing to write home about. Roll rate average, maneuverability not great. This plane, it's not good at anything, it's not super bad at anything, except the ammo loads I think is not great with 90 rounds for these guns. And yeah man, there's niches for this plane, I would say. I think it can function in ground RB. The tankers among you will have to acknowledge this maybe, or confirm this for me. That's maybe the better word. If it can function there with those bombs and you know, being at least average as a fighter. But in air RB it is very difficult to find a swung feel for this plane. It's a support fighter, let's be real, and without missiles at 9.0 it is distinctly lacking, and also the ammo loads are not great. So I really don't like this plane. It is very unforgiving, and it's a big target to boot as well, so it's very easy for people to hit you. Compared to some of the other jets, there's quite a few small jets out there, but this plane is huge, and it's bad. I can't make anything more about it, guys. This is just not a good plane. It's not competitive at 9.0 battle rating. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.